Okay, guys, we're going to get started. We're going to start working on subnetting. This is going to be a real quick video, kind of to discuss. We already did some decimal to binary, so hopefully you guys are pretty familiar with that process. I want to go ahead and get started here with some initial subnet discussion. So first of all, I think you guys should be really well aware of the actual class A, B, and C listings. So, we've got, let's see here, 126. It's going to be in your class A's. Okay, and then we've got 128. Whoops. 128 all the way up to 191. Okay, these are the first octet. Okay, so you've got X, 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 X octet. Okay, so these are the 4 octets in a class IPv4 class. So then we've got the very first octet is the one we're focused on here. So 1 to 126 is a class A. Then 128 to 191 is your class B. Okay. Then we've got 192. Oops. Sorry about that. So we've got 192 to 223, class C. 224 to 239 is class D, and then 240 to 255 is a class E. Okay, so you're aware, class D is multicast, so you won't subnet anything into class D ever. Okay, and then when we talk about class E, it's experimental. Again, these are things that I've never ever seen subnetted or utilized on a standard production network. You guys are going to live within the 1 to 223 range typically. We had discussed in class network address translation, which is how they were able to extend the actual number of addresses being utilized. So how do we figure out the number of subnets in a class? Well, first of all, when we talk about class A, class A is going to have number of network bits, number of host bits. Okay, so the network bits obviously is going to be 8. Why is it 8? Well, because it involves the first octet. The first octet will be full. So if you were to have a class A, you're going to have, oops, excuse me here, I'll redo that. 255.0.0.0. That is a class full class A, 8 network bits. Now, as you can imagine, you go down the line, you get a class B. It's going to be 16, so you're going to have 255 and 255, and then 0, 0. Okay, and then obviously a C, it's 24, etc. So it's going to be the same thing in class full class. And then obviously host bits means it's got 24 host bits. So it's the inverse, so it fills the register. There's 24 host bits here. So those are off. This one has 16 host bits here in the back. And then we'll go ahead and put this down for reference sake. So 255, 250, 255, 255, 0. Okay, so there's 8 host bits. Okay, so how do we figure this out? How many subnets? Well, let's just say, for example, that you were given something, I don't know, let's start out here, very simply. Let's go 10, 15, 0, 0. And let's say that you were given this as a /12. Okay, /12. And we go, well, what's a /12? So we talked about the binary on this. We know there's 8 host bits, right? So the host bits are going to be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That's 7, 1. Okay, so that's 8, right? 2 to the 8, class full class. And then 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 0, 0, 0. There you go. that is a /12. But nobody wants to say that, so it's easier to go /12. Okay, so how do we figure that out? Well, first one is a 10. Right here, there's your 10. Okay, 10 fits into class A because it's between there. So we know class A network bits is 8. 12 minus 8 is equal to 4. 2 raised to the 4 is equal to 16. That is the number of subnets. This answer right here, number of subnets for this host. Okay, you're like, that's interesting. Let's go ahead and do another. Okay, we're going to go ahead and wipe this away. Hopefully you guys can roll it back if you need to see this again, how I'm doing this. But let's just do a new. Yeah, no, don't save. Goodbye. Okay, so new one. Let's try something else here. Let's do something a little more closer to home. This is you guys' home router. So let's go 192.168.0.1. Okay, there's your standard router prefix notation. Pretty much every has class full, class C. But let's say that it was in this instance, we'll go dotted decimal. Okay, so we got 255, 255, 240. Whoa, what happened? What's this 240? Okay, well, let's figure it out. 255 we know to be 0 to 255 or 2 to the 8, right? So it's a class full 8. 255 again, 2 to the 8. So what's 8 plus 8? 16, right? Okay, now remember how we broke everything out into that big long table and I showed you guys decimal to binary? Well, this is decimal. Let's take it to binary. So you've got 240. How many times is 240 to 128? One time. Okay, so there's a 1 there. And then that's going to leave us with, let's see, 128, so 30, 10, 112. Okay, so 112. Is there a 64 and 112? Sure there is. So that's going to leave us with 50. Let's go ahead and bring it up. So 112 and 64, excuse me. Sorry. There's an 8. And a 10, so there's 48. All right, so moving on down the line, it's 32. Oh, let's add the 1 here. Sorry, 1 there. There's a 32. That's going to give us a whopping 6. 1 there. Next one down is 16. That's a 16. That's going to leave us a 0. So there's a 1 there. So 4 on, right? 2 to the 4. 4 on. So that's a /20. Okay, so we got a 20 and a 24. So let's go ahead and figure this one out. 24 minus 20 gives us 4 to the 4, also 16 subnets. Okay, let's take this exact same one, except for this time, let's do it, let's say /22. Let's see something a little different. You know what, let's go 25. Let's say /25, okay? So /25. So 25, 24, make that a little neater, sorry. 24, that leaves us with 1 to the 1, so that equals 2 subnets. Hopefully at this point you guys have a really good idea of how, because this will work every single time. This is how you run your subnetting. So whether it be dotted decimal, all you have to do is take a look at the first octet. Does the first octet fit into that 1 to 126? Oh, you know what, this is messy. 1 to 126. Does it fit into the 128? Nope, sorry, 128 to 191, or does it fit into the 192 to 223 range? When you figured out where this first octet matches into, that is your class. Once you find the class, you use the network bits, so that's going to be 8, 16, or 24, and then you find that and you subtract it out. Let's just say that this was a /24, just for argument's sake. So we've got a 24 minus 24. How many subnets are there? It's a 0. Oops, I keep pushing the button there. That's a 0. Okay, so what's a 0? Well, 2 to the 0 is equal to 1. So you have 1 subnet, which is why class C is 255, 255, 255, and it's just 254 host addresses plus broadcast and network. Okay, so hopefully this makes a lot of sense to you. We'll have some more videos for you coming up in a little bit. Take care. And now I'd like to say goodbye. Thank you very much for joining us in this episode of Bash Tutorials. I hope that it was informative, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.